Today we are going to discuss BMI or body mass index in respect to overweight and obesity management. So BMI is majorly categorized into four major groups: underweight, no more ideal body weight, overweight, and obese, which is subcategorized again into three other classes: obese 1, obese 2, and obese 3, which is also known as morbid obesity. Now, when we specifically talk about overweight and obesity, we are mostly concerned and interested in the fat composition. That is what actually contributes to diseases such as cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, stroke, fatty livers, and all that. So, when we specifically talk about fat composition, the BMI does not tell us that. It just tells us this is your weight. It doesn't account for actually what composites your weight. And therefore, is BMI totally useless? I would think not. BMI is not useless. It's a very effective tool when it comes to mass screenings, population screening and community screenings. When we need a snapshot of whether this community has an ideal body weight or not, we will use a BMI because it is simple, easy, and fast. And after we acquire that particular data, we'll need to further investigate. We'll need to further investigate using individualized procedures or investigation. For example, we might use a DEXA scan, which actually tells us the fat composition of that particular body. If we cannot access a DEXA scan, we may be inclined to use things such as waist circumferences or skin fold thicknesses, which will tell us the amount of fat that is beneath your skin. And therefore, these are other ways to assess whether or not you have a higher fat composition in your body. Now, BMI should only tell you, should only give you a snapshot of how your health is. But when you're managing now your health, you need to use other individualized processes. It is very important to understand this because not everyone who is overweight or obese, that means that person is unhealthy. And this is actually being proved by athletes or other people such as bodybuilders, whereby when we assess them using the BMI, they will most likely fall in overweight and obese categories. But that actually does not mean that they are unhealthy in respect to overweight and obesity. Therefore, the next time you're told that you're unhealthy based on a BMI, well, do not lose hope because you can further investigate and understand exactly where your problem lies.